Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Double RPG here, and welcome to another episode of Double RPG Let's Play with Tales of Phantasia on the Super Famicom. In today's episode, we are going to consult with Runglom to see where we need to go in order to fix the rings that we found inside the Moria Gallery. So anyway, let's get on with this episode that is already in progress. And as we are saying right now, we can upgrade Kless's title to a new one since we have, conquered some more obstacles. So, yeah, and it's much better than the fighter, so we will take the knight title. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go upstairs here, and let's go inside the magical research laboratory and talk to Runglom from there, and he should be able to tell us where we need to go in order to, well, give us a clue on where we need to go in order to find out how to fix the rings. Runglom notices that we're kind of down in the dumps, so we are telling him that we need to fix them. And Runglom says, looks like he can't even fix them, but his friend Edward knows how we can repair them. So he's done a lot of research on mystical artifacts like he's telling us, so we're going to have to find this Edward wherever he is. And his house is at the west from here, and Runglom gives us a letter so that way we can give it to Edward, so we can talk to him on Runglom's behalf, I guess. So, yeah, we're gonna head west of Alvanista. Kless is acting kind of weird, as he thought he heard somebody talking to him. It says, "You, Kless. You are not worthy of such a holy weapon." And who could be talking to him? Makes me wonder. Well, we will know a little bit more about that once as we head to Midgard, but we won't do that for probably the next few episodes, so yeah. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna head outside town, and then we are gonna head west on the world map to make it over to Edward's house. And Edward's house is just west of here, so let's go over here. And this is where he lives. Kind of similar place a little bit, don't you think? I know the houses may be different, but they look almost identical to one another. Anyway, this is Edward's wife Lilith, and we gave Runglom the letter, and she trusts us, but unfortunately he is not here at the house, so she says that he would be heading to Freyland first to gather warriors to fight against Daus. So, regardless of where he might be, we're going to have to go to Freyland nonetheless. So, we're going to go ahead and head over there right away. But before we do so, there is something just outside of the of Edward's household that we can get for Kless that will be pretty useful. So, if we head here, talk to the swordsman up here, and she gives Kless a new spell called Burning Soul. So basically, you need to learn the Phoenix technique and the Bladestorm technique at 100% in order to use that combo technique of sorts. So yeah, we can't use it at this time. So we're gonna have to learn it. But anyway, here we are at Freyland. I already had and skipped ahead to get over here. So we're gonna try to see if we can find out where Edward is, and let's talk to this gentleman over here. And Kless says we're looking for an Edward, and this guy named Rex says that he was heading for the southern oasis that's east of here. So yeah, we're gonna have to head east of Olive Village. So before we do that, let's go ahead and get some items here, since we did make a lot of money when going through the Moria Gallery. So I don't think we're gonna need to buy any of the accessories, but we will need to buy some of the stuff that's at the pharmacy. So let's go ahead and get those. Oh, why not? Let's just get 15 of almost everything. Okay, and we still have enough money, so let's go ahead and head out of here. And then we will go south to then we'll go east to head over to the southern oasis. And it's those 3 oases that we're gonna be visiting, that I showed you when we were trying to you know, going to Freyland to get a contract with Ifrit. So, this guy says that Edward moved to the eastern oasis. That's north of here. So, let's go to the eastern one. And here we are at the second one. And if we talk to this old man over here, his name's Alonzo. He says he hasn't seen any headboards. And we're asking if we've seen Edward. And the guy was just playing a joke on them, and he says that Edward moved to the oasis that's north of here. So, yes, we're going to have to go to the northern one now. Seems like trying to catch up to... I mean, it seems like trying to find him is going to be an impossibility at this point. So, yeah. Now, if we talk to the mage over here, and this mage tells us that Edward already went back to Olive Village, so we're going to go ahead and quick jump over there, or over here, and then let's try asking the guy Rex again. And we're asking if Edward made it back yet, and the man says yes, that he already went over, he probably went over to the inn. So we go check at the inn, he's not here. And now we're talking to the guy who runs the inn, and he says that Edward is not even here. He was here, and he was looking for basilisk scales for healing and medicine purposes, or healing purposes because he can make medicine out of them. And so in order to meet up with Edward, looks like we're going to need to find some basilisk scales. So let's go ahead and try to find a battle out here in the world map, and I'll show you how to get them. Okay. Right here is a battle. And here we're fighting against a basilisk. Yeah, this guy again. Basically the animal that's in cross of a fish and a serpent, I guess you could say, or something. Because there do exist basilisk in real life, but they're more like lizards or whatever. And yeah, you want to be careful with this guy because he can petrify you with the gaze attack. So make sure you have some remedy bottles on you. Okay, do that. We're not doing a lot of damage because of having the thunderclap on us, but I guess that can't be helped. And that defeats the basilisk. We get a good chunk of experience and gold, and we get a basilisk scale. So that's what you need to do 5 or 6 times. So anyway, let's head back to Olive Village. Okay, here we are back at Olive Village. So let's go ahead and talk to the innkeeper again. And we can stay here for free while we wait for Edward. So he's going to go inform the villagers while we take a rest. And Edward usually comes here every morning looking for basilisk scales. So yeah, it's a good chance for us to stay here. And the innkeeper tells us that Edward is here to see us. So you're the ones who collected basilisks. Yes, here we are, Mr. Morrison. Guess who it is? Yep. The guy who looks very similar to Tornix D. Morrison. So this is Edward Morrison, or Tornix Morrison, and this is Edward D. Morrison, of all people. So, anyway, we're gonna need to talk to Edward about what we need to do in order to repair the rings. And Edward is surprised that we were the ones that saved the prince and Alvanistus, so, we're going to ask him if we know any way on how to repair them. And the rings were made by the ancient dwarves, and no one has been able to create items at the same magical capacity as they did, so we're placing them inside the question. So, what is our only alternative, Mr. Edward? What you need to do is get through the Ymir Forest and consult with the elves there. So, yes, we are going to go into the elven homeland. So, but getting in there is forbidden, but Rune Glom can arrange for our official, you know, welcome to there, so that way we can get access. So, but Edward wishes to speak with us more, it looks like. So, and he wants us to help us fight against Daus in the upcoming battle against Midgard, but Kless has got some questions he would like to ask Edward. Mr. Morrison, wait up! What is it? Please look at this. I think it will help you. And he gives him Tornix's book. And, yeah, Tornix D. Morrison gave him. And Edward says that he doesn't know of a family member who goes by that name. And he was asking him, and Kless was asking him about time travel, but Edward was about to give up on it, his future of research on time travel. And anyway, he tells us that we cannot even tell him about his future, because he doesn't want to make any alterations on what he chooses in his future. So, anyway, Mint is telling Archie that Kless and her actually came from 100 years in the past. And Edward's descendant was the one who sent them back in time in order to, find people who possess magic. Yep, like what we're taking a look at the cutscene right here. So anyway, Edward has given us another lecture about how no one should tell who should control whose destiny, so he needs to live out his life how he sees it and not what he knows from his future. So, yeah, it makes sense. And he says that possibly entering in this time might have altered history, since Kless and Mint made it over here. But it could be a temporary thing, but who knows? So, looks like Kless has decided that they're going to come to Midgard to fight against the battle against Daus. So, at least, fighting against Daus would only give one less burden off their shoulders in order to try to find a way how to get back in time. So, yes. We at least got ourselves a good idea on where we need to go. But anyway, let's get back to Alvanista. And I shall see you there very shortly. Yes, and I know, and I keep jumping from mysterious spots that we should get to Alvanista, but if you tried to, if you played this game, then you would have to get to them, through them manually, like you always would. Before we talk to Runglom, let's talk to this guy. This is a little mini game right here that we can try to see who gets the last stone or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of hard here. So you have to use your wit to figure out how many stones you need to remove from the pedestal. So yeah, this guy's kind of a tricky one, so you want to be careful. Take one out. And if we take 3, and we beat him, you want to make sure that this guy gets the last ring. So, or not the last ring, but the last stone. That's the basic premise of the whole game. So, yeah, that's how it's done. Anyway, let's go upstairs, and we'll talk to Runglom again, and then he should get some time to prepare our arrangements to go into the Ymir Forest, or the Lake of Ymir, or whatever. And so, let's go ahead and talk to him outside. And Runglom can't even believe that, Edward is going to take on Daus. But he admires him for his courage, but regardless, he is going to prepare us the paperwork in order to get to Ymir Forest, as he's doing right now. But before we go back and talk to Runglom, I think there is one last thing I would like us to take care of before we go back inside the castle, or before we leave town, or whatever. Now, if we go to the east end, just in that little area just south of where Elwyn and Nancy used to live, these guys are holding a race, a sprint race, and it's another mini game that we can that we can play. But the whole premise of the game is that you need to run around the perimeter of the town 3 times in order to beat the kid who they consider is the fastest one, you know, inside Alvinista. So they're, you know, holding up a little challenge for everybody who thinks they can run fast. So yeah, we're gonna take this little challenge here. So this lady is showing us how to go through the track, but I guarantee you it will get kind of, you know, it might get kind of tedious just from having to, you know, go through this and watch this. But you know, you need slow and steady to make sure that you get through the whole thing perfectly without any mistakes or whatever. And we should be at the halfway point right now. So she's going to show us how to get back over to where we need to, you know, make a lap. So, yeah, just tiptoe over, and we will go around these trees, and, you know, just to maintain on the perimeter of the town here, or this part of the town. And we can't even do anything about, you know, going through the harbor or anything like that, because there's no way that we could count that as a perimeter, you know, or as part of the perimeter of the town. So yeah, anyway, she has shown us how to get through the whole town, so we have to do that 3 times. So let's get this race started. Does music sound familiar, guys? Whoops. Sounds similar, doesn't it? Yep. This is from this music is from the old arcade game called Rally X, and it was a really fun rally racing game that Namco put out. I think what you had to do was that you had to race around these trackways in order to destroy these 10 cars that are coming after you, or, you know, use every sort of means to try and destroy them. And you also had to use conventional means any way necessary, and you had to watch out for traps and all that. So yeah, it was actually a really fun arcade game of sorts. So yeah, if you can manage to find an arcade or something that has that arcade cabinet of sorts, give it a try. It's actually really fun. Or if you can manage to find something like an old, you know, arcade emulator of sorts, you know, something like you can plug into a TV or something, kind of like what they did with the old Atari games. They should have that game on there for you to try. So if you can find something like that, then do that. Anyway, I went ahead and showed you what that race was like, but let's get back to the castle. Now here we are back at the Magic Laboratory. Now we talked to Runglom again, so we need to pin the Royal Crest on our chest. But he tells us that going to the Ymir Forest, that half-elves are not allowed to enter because of law. I mean, I guess you could say the Elven Village's laws, or the Ymir Forest laws about going into the Elven Village. So yeah, they said that half-elves, any half-elves that enter their territory are prone to be executed. I don't know why, but that's how they go by. I guess it's because I guess you could say that the elves are cowards in a sense, since they do not want to stand up to Douse or whatever, and realize that all half-elves are not that bad. Because, you know, I guess they're going by the whole law and saying that, you know, the half-elves, they kind of misrepresent the elves and what they do, because they are the ones that found magic, and they are just abusing it for their purposes. So, yeah. So do a little bit of rearranging, and then we should be able to make our way out of here. And I think we're going to be okay, you know, with everything that we have now. I mean, we can upgrade, or we can buy some items once as we get to the Elven Village in the Ymir Forest, so let's go ahead and head out of here. We're going to head out of here without Archie, but something tells me is that she's got something up her sleeve. So something tells me she's going to follow us. Indeed she is. So, yeah. But regardless, guys, this is where we're going to go ahead and stop things right here. So next time on Double RPG Let's Play with Tales of Phantasia on the Super Famicom, we are going to go to the Ymir Forest and try to complete what we came to do in order to get the the Moonstone Ring restored. And I think we also get another ring with that too. I think the Topaz Ring. But yeah, we are going to, continue on where we left off. But other than that, if you have not done so already, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter with the links in the description. And be sure to check out Mr. Retro Kid 91's YouTube channel where Insatiable Gaming has started between me and him and some other people. And if you like what you saw, be sure you rate this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments below to let me know what you guys thought of the episode. And be sure to check out the links below, the links that I already told you about, because I'm supporting Operation Rainfall, to where we need to get the Wii RPGs, The Last Story, Xenoblade, and Pandora's Tower localized in the United States or North America or whatever. Anyway, take care of yourselves, gamers, and I'll see you on the next episode. See you guys then.